You know that I love blue, and you also know that I love multi-strand bracelets. So today I'm combining those two things and I'm making a turquoise 3-strand stretch bracelet. Hi, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Carol, and on this channel I show you how easy it is to make really cool jewellery. So today I'm making a 3-strand stretch bracelet. Now stretch bracelets are fabulous, they're nice and easy to put on, and you can just wear them just with everything. So the big issue with stretch bracelets is that sometimes the knots come undone. So I've shown you before how to tie the knot so that it doesn't come undone, and I'm going to show you that again today. So let's have a look at what we're going to do, and then I'll walk you step by step through the process and talk about everything that you need to make it. As you can see, I've jumped ahead a little bit here. I didn't want to make you sit through me stringing 3 strands of beads onto elastic. So I've already strung 2, but I will talk you through how I did it and why I've done what I've done. But first let's talk about what you'll need. So the star bead is this one here. It is a 40mm magnesite bead, and it's flat and round, and it's going to sit on my wrist there. Okay, so we need one of those. We need 4 of these magnesite 6-sided ovals. Now these are beautiful beads, long and thin, and as you can see they have 6 sides. You will need 8 of these 12mm magnesite beads, these round ones, and you'll need 20 of these 6mm round magnesite beads. As well as that, now I've punctuated the magnesite with some gold. Now you know that I'm a silver girl usually, so I did gold just for you today. And what I've used here is some 3mm gold beads, and these ones are smooth, and I also have here some acrylic 4mm Stardust beads. And I will leave links in the description box below for everything that you need. As well as that, in terms of supplies, you will need some stringing material. Now this one is a clear stringing material, clear elastic, and it's a 0.6mm. Now today I'm going to be using black because I had some feedback on one of my videos that you couldn't see what I was doing when I used the clear, and that's fair enough on the white background, so I'm going to be using black, but when you do yours you'll use either clear or white. As well as that, you're going to need some scissors, you're going to need 3 paper clips, and I'll show you why you're going to need those, and you will need a big eye needle. Now this big eye needle is an amazing thing. As you can see, the hole in the needle runs the entire length of the needle, so it makes it really easy for you to string. Alright, so let's get started. I'm going to take a piece of elastic, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to first thread on my paper clip. So thread it through, and I'm going to just bring the ends together. Now I would say that you'll probably need about 1.5 meters of the elastic. It does take quite a bit because we're doubling up through the beads. And just bring the paper clip to the end like that, and your ends together. Now I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to open it up and thread both of my ends through my needle. Now you also notice that this needle is double-ended, so both ends are the same. So if you need to go back through the beads, it makes life easy as well, if you need to unstring them. Okay. So to thread on my my beads, I'm just going to start picking them up. Now you'll notice that I have them laid out on this funny piece of cardboard here. When I'm designing any kind of multi-strand necklace or bracelet, mostly bracelets, I use this. Now it's just a piece of A4 card, and what I've done is I've just concertinaed it. Basically I measured about 1 centimetre spaces all the way up the side, on both sides, and I folded it on those marks. So it was really easy to make, but it makes such a difference so you can lie your beads down and see exactly what you're doing. Now I cannot take credit for this idea. It came from another fantastic YouTuber called Misty Moon. Her channel is called Misty Moon, and I love her designs. So check her out as well if you really like making jewellery. Okay, so now the reason, the thing to remember when you are making a multi-strand bracelet is that your strands all need to be the same length for it to sit properly. Now for me, I have a very small wrist. My wrist only measures 16 centimetres. So if your wrist is bigger than mine, you can adjust this design, and I would adjust it in the centre. And I'll show you that in just a second. I'm just about there, just got 3 beads to put on. Now if it's only a slightly bit bigger, what you could do is add more of the gold beads. So maybe add an extra one on either end, which will give you an extra 6 millimeters of your bracelet, because these ones are 3 millimeters. But if you need a little bit more than that, I would adjust it by adding another 6 millimeter bead in the middle. So I would take another bead and put it here, because you can see that each of them have that bead in the center. And I designed it that way so that you could adjust it. So if you were to add another one of these with perhaps say one of the 3 millimeter balls in it, that would give you an extra 9 millimeters in the center. Or if you need a little bit more, you could add an extra few of the Stardust beads as well. So it's there to play with to make it fit. Now you can see that I've put my paper clip on the end, and the reason I did that was simply so that I could basically, so my beads don't roll off the other end when I get, when you're stringing them on. There's nothing worse than having the beads rolling off one end when you're stringing on the other end. So I just put the paper clip there to hold it while I strung this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to feed this through my bead. Now I kind of considered whether or not I should tie all the knots at the same time, and I decided not to do that. I just think if one fails, it's not so bad. If all 3 fails, then your bracelet, all of the beads will fall on the floor. So I decided not to do that. So what I'm going to do while I've got my needle still on here is just thread it through and pull it out the other side. Now I'm going to take my paper clip off. It's done its job. And thread through the loop there. So what I have, if I can show you this, the 2 strands are going through the loop of the elastic. Now I'm going to pull it up so that it's nice and tight. Now one thing I didn't tell you actually at the beginning is that you should always pre-stretch your elastic, and the reason you do that is so that it doesn't stretch while you're wearing it. Okay, so I'll take my needle off now, and what I'm going to do is tie a knot, just an ordinary knot, and pull it reasonably tight, not too tight because you don't want to break it. Then I'm going to put my elastic underneath the beads, one on one side, one on the other, and make sure it falls in the right place. So you're basically looping it around the elastic, and then I'm going to tie another knot. And I'm going to do that a couple of times, just to make sure that my my knot is nice and sturdy, and it's not going to come undone. Now we are going to pop the knot inside of the big bead, so it doesn't matter if it's a little ugly, because you will not see it. And I'll do another knot now on top. Maybe I might just do that one more time just to make sure. So crossing the threads underneath and tying 2 knots. Okay, now I'm just going to trim off my ends, leaving a little bit of a tail. As I said, it'll pop inside the bead, so we don't need to worry about that. And I'm actually going to pull it down inside there now. So that is strand number 1. Now I'm just going to do that 2 more times. So now I'm going to take my needle and thread on the 2 strands of this piece. Oh dear. Why is it that you can always do off camera something really easily, and when you get on camera you just can't do it quite so easily? All right. And I'm going to remove my paper clip. Actually, I'm going to leave it there for a second. I'm going to put this through that hole in that bead. Make sure you don't go through any of the beads when you come out the other end, so you can see it going in this end and out that end. Okay, now it is a bit tight in there, I won't lie. I've just got to give it a wiggle and a pull, and if you need to, you can always grab a pair of pliers and pull it out that way. There we go. All right, now we remove our paper clip and go through the loop. Take my needle off and pull them up. It gets a bit confusing about which beads are doing what, but basically you want to pull them all the way back to where that where the loop is. Make sure it's nice and tight, and we're going to tie it exactly the same way. So splitting them up, tying a knot, and going underneath those beads and tying another knot, and underneath. Now I did this in depth in my double strand bracelet tutorial, so if you are having trouble following me, you can always go back and watch that one as well. I'll leave a link for that one as well. So double knot there, and one more for good measure. Just make sure it's sitting between in the right space. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to trim that one off. And you can pull that one through as well. So there we are with 2 strands. I'm going to do one more. All right, same process exactly. So there's my bracelet. I did have some issues getting the 3rd strand of elastic through, but that's simply because the black elastic is actually thicker than the clear one, and so it caused some issues, but I got there in the end. I hope you enjoyed making this triple strand bracelet with me. Let me know in the comments section below if you make it, and if you have any issues getting that elastic through. Also, give me a little thumbs up if you liked the video. Now, if you're interested in making any of the jewellery I'm wearing today, I'm wearing a pendant which I made a few weeks ago with some resin, so I'll leave a link in the description box below for that. And I'll also leave a link to the bracelet that I'm wearing, which is a memory wire bracelet. I haven't done a tutorial for these earrings, but I'm thinking I might, because I do get lots of questions about them. Also check us out on Facebook and Instagram, as we often post there between tutorials. Thank you for watching today. Have a great day. I'll see you again soon.